Hey guys, so welcome to the 10K special. As expected, this video is going to be a bit different, as you can tell by me standing up and not sitting down in the chair and everything, and being a bit more on camera. But I hope you guys are excited. This video is going to be a bit different, and essentially what the plan is we're going to build a Nathan But Net trophy out of Legos, which I'll explain a bit more as I do voiceover from future Nate and all that as this video goes on. But some of you that have been around the channel for very long may remember that for 100 subs, I built the Nathan But Net trophy, which is actually down here still on display, if my camera will cooperate. So just like whenever I did the 100 sub special, this is going to be, again, sort of a recreation of the Larry O'Brien trophy slash the Nathan But Net logo with Legos. Originally, this idea was going to be actually for the 50th episode of the podcast, and I was going to do something cool where like I put LEDs inside of it, but that would require way too much electrical work and LEDs and things like that. So I just ended up not doing that, and also Legos can sometimes really get expensive. So I also just delayed buying Legos. So that idea got delayed for a very long time, and then I had the idea to actually redo that idea for the 10K special, because I thought that if I made the inside of the Legos hollow and got something to fill the inside with, because they're transparent Legos, then maybe I could put something on the inside that represented each subscriber that contributed to the channel. If you guys have watched other YouTubers, some YouTubers do something similar to this for their subscriber specials. Any of y'all that used to watch the Odd Ones Out a long time ago, he did something similar to this where he made a cake with 1,000,000 sprinkles for 1,000,000 subs, everything like that. So basically the premise is that I'm going to build this Lego trophy, and then on the inside we're going to pour these beads that I got off of Amazon. Luckily, this pack that I bought is actually supposed to be a 10,000 pack perfectly. So each one of these little beads represents one of you subscribers. Originally, I was going to do the idea with something more related to the channel, like these mini basketballs, but the smallest I could get on those was about 1 inch. And so in order to have 10,000 inches, I would have to make this thing like over 3 feet tall, which I wasn't going to do. Also, the crappy thing about this is that I went cheap on Amazon because, again, Legos are very expensive. So I got some off-brand Legos, and the problem with that is that off-brand Legos do not stick together as well as actual Legos do. So you will see quite often throughout this that sometimes what I'm building just breaks, and then I have to rebuild it. But luckily by the end of it we got a complete project, and because the Legos kept falling apart and everything, I actually went to HEB and bought some spray adhesive, and I went ahead and sprayed the whole thing, not only because the Legos weren't sticking together that well, but even if they were sticking together, I wanted something that would prevent it from breaking if something happened, like it fell off the shelf. But I don't know what other voiceover to give, so I'm just gonna do a bit of a time lapse for this. So this is kind of what it looked like halfway through the process. So originally what I was trying to do was essentially build the cone shape by going one square out each time. But I realized if I did that, it would be way too big of a cone, because if I did like 10 layers, then I would have to go 10 blocks out, and then it would be way too big on the top. So basically what I did is I expanded it every 3 layers. So I would go 1 block out, three, and build that for 3 layers, then go 2 blocks out, build that for 3 layers, then go 3 blocks out, build that for 3 layers, until ultimately I ended up with the cone shape. And again, since this was a previous idea, I already had the basketball part made, so then I just had to figure out how to essentially attach that on top, and then again I sprayed it all down with adhesive. As I neared the top, I tried to sort of get the cone shape to veer off to the left as it reached the top, again to kind of mirror what the Larry O'Brien does, because it's not a perfect cone centered in the middle. It kind of has the top off center, and then the basketball lays on top of that. So I tried to kind of mirror that a bit, but I had to make sure obviously that the weight was right, because again, these Legos had a tendency to break. So I had to make sure that it actually had enough support, and again, that was another big reason for the adhesive, so that everything wouldn't just crumble and fall apart. So I had to make sure that I wanted to try and get that lean to the left look, and I tried to do that as best I can. And again, this is sort of what it ended up looking before adding the ball on top. So again, I'm doing this without instructions, obviously, so I just kind of eyeballed everything, but I think it turned out pretty decent for just kind of freehanding everything. And this is the finished product. So the glue actually kind of messed up with the transparency that I was going for with the Legos, and the Legos actually didn't turn out as transparent as I wanted. I originally wanted you to be able to fully see through it and kind of see the beads inside, like as if you were putting them in like a glass cup you would use for water or something. But it seems that because this thing is multi-layered, each layer of Legos you add onto it, obviously it's going to lose transparency. And then of course the glue kind of messed that up as well. But again, this is the finished product, and each one of these beads and sides represents one of you guys. So thank you guys so much for supporting. I really do appreciate it. And there's actually a bit of room at the top for even more beads. So maybe I can just reuse this idea and go ahead and pour 10,000 more beads for 20k or something. But I also have another subscriber special planned for whenever I hit a goal like 25k. Maybe I'll put a sneak peek in here, maybe I won't. But yeah, stay tuned, and thank you guys so much for supporting the channel.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now.